Good morning. How are you guys today? And welcome to another edition of Debt Ain't My Daddy. I'm your host, LJ Young, back again with the truth. I hope you guys are doing well. I am, right? For those of you that are new to my channel, I always open like this so everybody understands what you get when you come here, all right? My name is LJ Young, and I'm a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them financially see outside what I call the debt matrix. The debt matrix is a box where everybody lives that believes in credit and debt. They believe finance and everything they own: cars, houses, phones, washer and dryer, clothes, tires, stereo systems, everything that depreciates, all right? This is a place that helps I help expose the glitches in the debt matrix. And the glitches in the debt matrix are things that don't make mathematical sense, but yet people keep doing them every day. And if things don't make mathematical sense, they don't make financial sense either, CENTS. Math and money are one. They are joined. Twin brothers, they're joined by the hip. And the only thing that can separate them are feelings. When you let feelings get in between them, just break apart, right? Now, if you're new to the channel, you're probably thinking, what do you mean feelings, right? I'm glad you asked. If I said to you, Ill Wills, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? In the cubicle today. Okay. Hey, this is going to be a good one. You're going to like this one, right? So the only thing that can separate math and money are feelings. And if you're asking, what does that mean? All right. If I said to you, how do you feel about 2 + 2 = 4? How does that make you feel? Statement of work's calling you, huh? How do you feel about 2 + 2 = 4? 5 + 5 = 10. Does it make you feel warm and fuzzy inside? Are you happy? Jump for joy? Does it make you sick? No, it's just 4. It's just 10, right? That's the same exact thing when you interject your feelings with your money. Feelings and money have no business being together, okay? And again, glitches in the debt matrix are things that don't make mathematical sense, but yet you still do them. And I'll tell you just a brief overview. The reason why it's hard for you to accept, even though you see the math is correct, the reason why it's hard to accept is because what society is doing. The majority of people in the debt matrix, in that box, they do the same things over and over. And if you were born, just like myself, I was born in the debt matrix, okay? That believing credit was everything. I wasn't anything without credit. I had to get a house. By the time I'm 30, I have to have a house or else I'm nobody. I have to have a high credit score or else I'm nobody. Only people in the debt matrix believe that. I didn't know that until I got out to the 15% of us. 85% of people are in debt. 15% of us are not. Once you get outside the debt matrix, you're here and you simply believe your math. And then once you believe your math and get outside the debt matrix, everything is a thing. House, car, you don't care what anybody has, clothes, Bentleys, Mercedes, you don't care. If they're making payments on it, the reason why they're making payments on it, because they couldn't afford it. That's why they financed it, period. There is no other if, ands, or but, okay? All right, let me bring up my notes, all right? This is a topic that is plaguing many that believe a lot of things, okay? And I'm here to help you understand. First of all, when you come here, all right, I'm not here to convince anybody of anything, okay? I'm here to show you something. Everything I'm showing you, I can 100% prove to be true with mathematics. I didn't invent math. Math was here before I was born. It's going to be here after I'm dead. All you got to do is believe your own math, all right? So I want to start you out first. This, okay? So you can understand. And you can do this yourself. This is homework. Add up all your savings and add up all your debt. Yes, including your mortgage and your student loans and your IRS debt and the collections you don't believe you should be paying, all that. You add it all up. and then go savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. If that number's in the negative, that's how much you're worth today. Now, it's going to be hard to look at that number and believe it. And then when you see that negative number, okay, this is the glitch. Here's the glitch part. When you see that number, you got to ask yourself, even though I know that number is true, how come I don't believe I'm broke? Ask yourself that. How come I don't believe I'm broke? You know why? I'll tell you why. Because you believe you own everything you financed. You believe you own it. The house you walk into, the car you drive, you believe you own it, but you don't. Math will clearly show that you don't, but that's why you don't believe it. And also the biggest reason, because everybody in the debt matrix is doing the exact same thing as you. See what I'm saying? Once you step outside the debt matrix, you can clearly see all that nonsense. It's nonsense. Okay, I was there. I'm on the other side. I ain't rich. I'm not rich. All right. Now let me get to my notes. All right. Now, before we get to the title of the video, I want to explain something else to you. All right. I know everybody wants to be rich and wealthy and all this other stuff, right? So you're probably watching a lot of motivational videos, and I'm gonna point out something so you can see something. Okay. A lot of videos, you'll see somebody hold up a camera to themselves, say, hey, I'm making all this money, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. And then they have all these props in the background, Mercedes, nice house, maybe a pool, a Bentley, a Ferrari, and they keep going around like this. First of all, when I see that, if I see any motivational speaker doing that, click off. Those are props. No different than when you go see a house that's staged with nice furniture and lamps in it, to stage the house so you can buy it. It looks nice, right? That's a motivation thing to make you buy that house, because you start imagining your house looking like this on the inside after they pull it all out and you move in, you be like, oh man, I like the way they had this. Same thing. When I see that, that's for people, that's to fool you. Okay. When I see that, I don't know if they own any of that stuff. I don't know if it's props. Maybe they went over somebody's house that had money. Hey man, can I make a video in front of your house? I don't know. I don't really care if it's true or not. It just irritates me because I want to get to the point of how and why they're making the money or whatever, right? So I click off. As soon as I see that, click off. Same thing on Facebook. Anybody I see doing that? Click off, right? Here's the key thing, and this is mathematics. In order for you to say, like you want to make 100,000, 200,000, a million, the number really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You must get to zero first. Who says this? The law of math. You must get to zero first. And how to get to zero, it's going to take sacrifice, baby. It takes sacrifice. I'm here to show you something, not to convince you. I'm not here to make you like me. I'm not. I'm trying to free you, financially free, become financially free. And everything. Pay attention. If your feelings get involved, I want you to recognize it's your feelings. They have no business here in money. It doesn't matter. Math doesn't care about your feelings. You must get to zero first. You must get out of the red, up to zero. This is what they taught us in grade school. Get to zero first, and then after you get to zero, then you start making money in the black. Red is at the bottom, black at the top. All right. All right. And now here's the topic. What did I name it? Chapter 13. No, FHA and Chapter 13. Okay. Now, first, no mortgage in the world makes anybody a homeowner. No mortgage. A conventional FHA, VA, first-time home buyer, no mortgage in the world makes anybody a homeowner. The reason why a person gets a mortgage, because they don't have the cash to buy the home. I'm just laying it out, plain and simple, okay? Plain and simple. No mortgage. All right? Now, let's talk about the FHA mortgage so you can understand what it means. Again, I'm here to tell you what it is. All right. FHA mortgages are only for people that refuse to accept that they cannot afford a home. Only people that cannot afford a home would ever accept the terms and the fees associated with the FHA mortgage. Only people that cannot afford accept that kind of stuff. All right, let's just make that sense. Now, when I say this, now listen to the things. If this is you, this is why these features are, you're attracted to them. No money down, or barely any money down, bad credit. Okay, you can have family and friends help you with the down payment. See what I'm saying? If you just step back for a minute and say, dang, bad credit? Why do I have bad credit? Figure that out. No money down. How come I don't even have 20% to put down on this house? Figure that out. Why do I need to have family members help me with the down payment? I don't even have the down payment. I need help with it. Those should be all indicators to tell you that you cannot afford a home. Right there, that should tell you. But when you're wrapped in a debt matrix, you believe those are good things. Now, I'm not blaming the bank. The bank is here to make money, not teach people about money. When you try for a conventional mortgage and you get turned down, you got to be aware of people that say things like this to you. Oh man, the restrictions on of a conventional mortgage, man, they're pretty tight. They don't do this, they don't allow that. Those are good things. Those are things that the bank is indirectly telling you. If you cannot qualify for conventional, you're not ready to buy a home. They're indirectly saying that, but they're not going to directly say that to you because they're here to make money. And if you don't understand that, that's your problem. You understand? It's nothing personal. Don't take it personal. You can walk into a bank. This is what you should do. You walk into a bank, ask for the best rated conventional mortgage. They say no. You say, okay, how come? They'll give you the set of rules of why you didn't, or what's the reason why you couldn't qualify. You take those rules and you don't come back until you meet every qualification on that list. That's the only time you're ready, unless you had a whole cash. But if you don't have all the cash, you don't come back to the bank until you meet every single qualification on that list. That's when you're ready. But since people refuse to accept that, they go to FHA. Mm. 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 You get it? All right, so let's get to the next one. All right, so like FHA mortgages, and if you're filing a Chapter 13, all right, and you have an FHA mortgage, let me tell you what that really means, okay? That really means, because I know they make it sound like, hey, if you file a Chapter 13, you get to keep your house. First of all, if you have an FHA mortgage, it's not your house at all. The bank would rather have something than nothing. And so they're going to take whatever you have to offer and drain you for every dollar you have until you just can't do it anymore. And then they're just going to kick you out, because FHA mortgages have 2 PMI, private mortgage insurance. Now, a lot of people don't even know what that means. They hear the word insurance and believe that insurance is just like the insurance they have to purchase on a car. Their insurance they have to purchase on the house. Now, if they were aware of what this is, they would. If this is you, if you pay attention to private mortgage insurance, and then have you noticed that you got to get other homeowner insurance, right? Nobody ever stops to think and say, wait a minute. If PMI is insurance, why do I have to get a whole separate type of home insurance? Does that make sense to you? That doesn't make sense, right? You have 2 insurances on one house because this insurance is not for you. This is insurance that they put only on people. PMI, private mortgage insurance, is only applied to people that don't understand it and cannot afford a house in the first place. So they get the money right up front. So when you get to the point to where something happens, something's going to happen because you couldn't even afford a house to get in the first place. Something's going to happen down the line within 30 freaking years. All those years you're paying PMI. And then when you can't afford it, this is what people in the debt matrix believe. Oh man, I'm going to stop paying the mortgage. It's going to take them a year to get me out of the house. Right? You've already paid everything to get you out of the house. You already paid for that year. You don't even know it. You paid for the lawyers. You paid for the movers to come in and kick you out, move all your stuff. However you're going to get out of that house, the sheriff to come in. You've paid for it all. You're the only one that doesn't know it. Now they even, let me make sure I put this in there. They're starting to get, people are starting to get hip to what PMI is, right? So you know what they did? They took the P and moved it to the other side. Now they call it MIP, mortgage insurance premiums. And so when somebody comes up and asks a person, hey man, do you have PMI? They're gonna like, no, they don't, but they really do. They just moved the P to the other side and called it mortgage insurance premiums. It's the same thing. And FHA mortgages have two of them, one up front and one through the life of the loan. Mandatory, baby, mandatory. Now, when you're in a Chapter 13, let me tell you something. I'm going to give you the hard, honest truth. You're never going to. First of all, if you got an FHA mortgage, the likelihood of you ever owning that home, the odds are so stacked against you. They're so stacked against you. And then if you get you have a Chapter 13 with an FHA mortgage, you're never going to own that home. I got some bad news for you. You're never going to own it. And the bank knows it. So they're just going to drain you for the little bit of money you got left. And because at the whole time, you really believe you're keeping your home. Oh man, Chapter 13 allows me to keep my home. It's not your home. Stop saying that. Stop saying it's your house. It's not your house. It's the bank's house. Let me tell you something. FHA mortgage holders, even with people with conventional mortgages, when you hear this, when you hear they've refinanced their house to redo their kitchen or their bathroom, don't be jealous of that. It's the bank's house. You think the bank's going to turn down loaning them money to fix up their house? And the bank doesn't even have to don't have to hire any contractors, no labor, no materials. The people are fixing up their house for them. So when because the person believes, even with the conventional, they believe it's their house too. See what I'm saying? You think the bank's going to turn that down? Oh no, that's approved, baby. Boom, approved. Yeah, you're going to redo the kitchen, the bathroom. Oh hell yeah. We don't even have to put in any labor or cost or nothing. We don't even have to insure our own property. Can you imagine this? This is what I'm saying. The bank is the largest property owner, house owner in the world. They don't have to pay taxes on it. They don't have to insure it. They don't have to maintain it. Everybody in their properties believes they are I don't know how the banks did this. I wish to God I did know. They don't even have to maintain it. They don't have to do anything, and they're the owners of it. Can you imagine if you could own property and get paid for it and not maintain it? Don't have to worry about getting sued over it. If somebody falls, if it burns down, you don't have to worry about nothing. You just get checks in the mail. Oof. Anyway, that's a whole other story. Now, like I said earlier, those attractions of bad credit, no money down, those are only attractive to people that are in those situations, but they don't know it. People in the debt matrix. Let's see, I'm looking at my notes here. Now, if you imagine this, okay, while you're in Chapter 13, FHA, and you refinance into another FHA. Now, I don't know if many people know this. Say like you're in the house for 10 years, okay? Now, if you refinance, hey, good morning, good morning. I didn't look over there. How you doing? The beauty jock, hello, welcome. If you imagine this, when you say like you're in the house for 10 years in the FHA mortgage, and you refinance that house, I don't think many people know this. You restart that 30-year clock all over. So those 10 years that you were in, gone, poof, they're gone. They're gone. You start the 30-year clock over. Now, the person in the house, they're just happy to have reduced monthly mortgage payments. Of course they're reduced because you've stretched out the years again, which adds more money and more PMI to the bank. You better believe they're going to refinance for you because you really don't know. And if this is you, don't feel bad about it. Get out of it. Because once you're on this side of the financial free side, you can buy 10, 20 of those houses later. Don't even worry about that right now. Because remember, As long as there are people that believe they're homeowners while having a mortgage, especially FHA mortgages, you will be able to live anywhere in the country you wish at any time you wish. Housing market prices will no longer matter to you because all you're going to be doing is buying your houses in foreclosure from people that believe they were homeowners with FHA mortgage that can no longer afford them anymore, and you're going to buy them at less than market value. You get it? That's how it really works. But when you're in the debt matrix, you can't see none of that. Everything I'm saying to you can be proven with math. Run the numbers yourself. Look for foreclosures. FHA, all you gotta do is ask your friend this and if okay, this is kind of off my subject, but listen, if you haven't bought a house and you're thinking about buying one, you don't really know who to ask because you're new to the game, right? These are the questions to ask to see if the person you're thinking about asking or already have asked to see if they did it right. Okay. People that finance houses love to tell people the price of the house like they paid cash for it. I don't know why they do that. That doesn't make any sense. They do that with cars too. But this is the point. If they didn't put 20% down on that house, they did it wrong. So when they tell you the price of the house, right? You just Google this. You don't even have to need a calculator. Say like the house was 300,000. Okay, let's just keep round even numbers. And they go, oh yeah, it was 300,000. You think in your mind, you Google 20% of 300,000 is 60,000, right? That's 60,000 minimum. Okay, minimum. You ask them, hey man, how much did you put down? People that would they like to brag about not putting money down on stuff. That's only people in a debt matrix talk like that. Don't ever say things like that out loud, ever. Don't brag about, oh yeah, I didn't have to hardly put money. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. Because what you're saying is that, yeah, I financed the whole thing, which is more money out of your pocket, which makes no mathematical sense. And if it doesn't make mathematical sense, it doesn't make financial sense either. Ask them how much. If they say, hey, I hardly put any money down, you say, don't even let them know because they don't even know what they're saying, okay? They did it wrong. You ask them, hey, did you have private mortgage insurance? If they respond with anything like this, what is that? Or, I don't know. They did it wrong because anybody that manages money well, they know exactly what they did. Exactly, okay? Or you say, hey, did you buy that? Did you have a lawyer with that house? Did you hire a lawyer before you purchased the house? If they say, oh no, they did it wrong. Because this is when you buy a house, this is a business transaction for the bank. No different if you decided to buy a $300,000 business. Would you do that without a lawyer? This is no different than a house. I would never purchase a house without a lawyer looking over the paperwork, ever. You see what I'm saying? They did it wrong. And if they say, oh man, I got a great deal with the FHA mortgage, the guy that sold me the house said, hey, this is the common thing, and I can't stand this. Who are they doing? People that don't understand money so wrong. Oh my God. When you come across somebody that says this to you, and this is the common, now, the people that are doing it, this is business. They're just making money. I'm not mad at the person doing it. That's a feeling. Okay. I'm just arming you guys. When they say something like this, hey, get in while you can because the market's rising. You probably won't be able to afford it later. Get in with the FHA mortgage. And then when you gain equity, you can refinance out into a conventional. That's not true. Know why? If you don't have any money, say like you don't even have the house yet, okay? So right now, today, you don't have the 20% to get down, to put down on the house. Your credit's bad, all right? You need help from family and friends to even come up with the down payment. This is what they're saying. I'm going to take you outside the debt matrix. They're telling you that somehow you're going to come up with, you're going to get the FHA mortgage. Now you mortgage, okay? You're going to somehow improve your credit, have more money, and refinance with a mortgage now, and somehow refinance into a conventional. That's not true. The likelihood of you ever doing that is highly unlikely. You can't do it without a mortgage. Now you're going to somehow do it with a mortgage? No, that's not true. That's debt matrix speak. Only people in the debt matrix understand that kind of talk. You step outside the debt matrix, that's not true. Now, again, if you're in chapter 13, let that house go. Chapter 13 in the FHA, I know it sounds good, like you get to keep your house. That's a trick. Because if you don't, the bank, and mind you, again, the bank is here for business. If you didn't know you can't afford a house using an FHA mortgage, you really believe you're going to pay off a house while you're in chapter 13? Mm-mm. No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm looking at my notes here. Let me tell. I'm gonna add something personal to you so you guys can understand uh, what I know today, what I didn't know back in 2008 when I lost everything in the crash. Right now, when I look at hindsight as 2020, okay. When I look back, now if somebody even told me this, if the future me today would have went back and told me this, I wouldn't even believe the future me. But I might have would because it's me. But if the future me came back with a different face, I probably would have said, "Are you crazy?" Now, if I would have did this, I'd have been free. All right. Now back then, I kept my college loans for 10 years. I got a 4-year degree, and oh yeah, I lost my house back then. Sure did. I sure did. Ill Wills lost my house, but remember, I never owned it in the first place because I had an FHA mortgage. Matter of fact, I don't even know what type of mortgage I had. But now that hindsight, where I'm here today, I know exactly what type of mortgage I had. And it was very bad because I had no money. I didn't put hardly any money down. I was deep in debt. I had 30 grand in student loan debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money I had for a house back then. And I was deep in the negative already before the house. So that tells me right there, I had no money for a house, but I didn't know that. I was in the debt matrix. Okay. So listen to what I'm saying. I never owned it. You're right. But I thought, and I'm going to tell you this, Ill Will, check it out. I remember getting the house, right? And this was one of those unexplainable feelings. I remember getting the house, and I thought once I got the house, I was supposed to have this wonderful feeling of being a homeowner, right? But I didn't. I had additional pressure because now everything in this house was my responsibility. I could no longer call up the manager and say, "Hey, man, the refrigerator's out," or "There's a leak in the sink." There wasn't a phone call. I was the person, right? And I was thinking, that's weird. How come it doesn't feel like I'm supposed to? Because when you don't have a house, you think you're missing out on something, right? And it's supposed to be this wonderful feeling, but I didn't feel it like that. I was like, okay, whatever, It could come to find out the crash was a blessing. But anyway, if I would have did this, it would have changed my world forever. Now, student loan debt, you cannot bankrupt. I had 30 grand worth and I kept it for 10 years. First of all, I'm this smart college dude. Math was a requirement in college. Okay, that was a requirement. Okay. But yet, I went to school for 4 years and kept my student loan for 10. That doesn't make mathematical sense. But yet, it didn't comprehend to me. I didn't compute, computer malfunction. I don't know. But I was in the computers. That was my job. Doesn't make sense to me. It makes sense to me today, right? But listen to this. If I had done this, if I had got into the house, right, refinanced the house, took that money, and paid off my student loans, right? This is before the crash, okay? This is after the fact, okay? Not saying that it would have happened. I would have even did it, right? Because I was in the debt matrix, right? And paid off my student loans. That would have brought it out of the student loan protection from being bankrupt, right? And then 2008 happened, where I lost my job, my house, everything. Filed Chapter 7, everything would have been gone. Everything. Legally. What I'm telling you is legal, but this to become financially free takes sacrifice. So you don't think like that in the debt matrix. So I'm not saying I would have did it, but outside the debt matrix, that's clear as day. Damn, I would have refinanced the house, put my student loans, wrapped it up, and then everything would. And 2008 would have happened, and the crash happened. Chapter 7, everything, fresh start, everything. You would have moved out from Exactly. It's out from the protection of non-bankrupt. You can't bankrupt student loans, but once you pay them off, it's out from under that umbrella. Now it's wrapped up in the house. Okay. And then 2008 would have happened. I'd have been free. But I didn't see that. You know what I did? This is what I did. I'm gonna tell you, because I'm here. I want you to understand, to get here, it takes sacrifice. You got to stop listening to people in the debt matrix and believe your own math. Just trust your own math. Accept that you messed up. Accept it. Say, wait a minute, my math is not right. I messed up. Once you accept it, you're gonna be good. But check this out. Instead of doing what I told you, you know what I did? You know what I did? I pulled out some of my retirement money, not borrowed. I pulled it. And I'll never forget this. And this is kind of bugs me because I didn't know this, right? I remember pulling about $25,000, $30,000 out of my retirement money, right? All right. And I remember that year going to see my tax person, my tax lady. And as we're doing my taxes, she gets to the part to where the money I pulled out from my retirement early. I'll never forget this look. She was like, and she came to that part. She said, "You pulled your retirement out early?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "What? You did what?" And this look, I'll never forget that look. Like to me, I was like, why is she looking at me like that? It's my money. And this thought process, why is she looking at me like that? That's my money. I pulled it out early. It's just a 10% penalty. Mm-mm. Oh, it's way more than that. Way more than that. If this is you, I'm going to tell you, it's way more than that. You pull that money out. The 30,000 got added to my annual income, which pushes me up and higher in the tax bracket. Because remember, I'm making almost 100 grand at this time. So it pushes me higher up in the tax bracket, plus a 10% penalty. That's almost 50% of the money I borrowed in taxes that I just gave away for pulling my money early out of my retirement. That's why she looked at me. And this is what makes me kind of angry. I wish she would have explained that to me instead of giving me that look, because I knew that look was for something, but I didn't know what to ask. I didn't know to say, "Hey, why are you looking at me like that?" I wish she would have sat back and said, "Linnell, you know what you did? This is what you did." And showed me with math, because I'm a computer engineer, so I'm a logical thinker. If she would have showed me that on paper, I'd have been like, "I did what? All that money I worked for years for, I just gave it away in taxes? You sure did. Don't you ever do that again, Linnell, ever." She didn't share that information with me. That's why I created this channel. I want you guys to see it for what it is. If you're in this situation, finance, FHA mortgage, and if you even thinking about it, getting an FHA mortgage, and you ain't got 20% down, if your finances are in the red right now, don't you ever do that. Don't ever do that. Do the math. Add up every single penny of your debt, and don't be adding in stuff like, "Oh, the equity in my house." People be calling cars assets. Don't say that kind of stuff out loud. A car is not an asset. A car that's financed is only an asset for the bank because they're earning interest off the money you borrowed to buy the car. It's not an asset for you. It's an asset for the bank. Don't ever call a depreciating object an asset. And I'm going to give you the keys. Check this out. Move that from under the stuff. I'm going to give you the keys to becoming, it's going to be so simple. Okay. It's going to be simple to hear, but it's going to take sacrifice. And when I say sacrifice, you're going to have to be down for at least 5 years of not just randomly financing and buying stuff, going on vacations, just 5 years. After the 5 years, you'll be free for the rest of your life. You'll be in I'm in a whole new financial world. You ready for it? You ready for the beauty jock? You ready for it? Here it is. Add up all your savings. Add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. Add up every penny. If you're afraid to do that, notice that you're afraid to do that. Everybody in the debt matrix is afraid to do that. That's just adding up to see it. Don't add in with the value of the car and the equity in the house. That stuff's not yours. Especially don't add in depreciating stuff. Don't ever do that. Okay. Now you got to believe your own math. You got to look at the math and say, I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy. Do the math yourself. Punch the numbers in your calculator app yourself. And then when you see that number, and if you don't believe it, you got to ask yourself, how come I don't believe my own math? I did it myself. I know it's right. I did it 5 times. You got to believe it. Next step. Never, ever, 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 ever finance anything that depreciates. Anything. Anything. You see somebody with the, check it out. If you see somebody with the new iPhone Pro Max, whatever, stupid nonsense, 11, whatever, right? Ask that person, hey man, did you pay cash for that phone? Why they have the phone in their hand? Did you pay cash for that phone? And if they tell you no, you better not ever take financial advice from that person. They couldn't afford to buy the phone, yet they have it in their hand. They don't even know it. What's that, a magic trick? It's not a magic trick. They don't know. They just finance something that depreciates. That's mathematically impossible for you to ever get ahead, ever. Computer malfunction, this math does, the math doesn't make sense. They think, oh, look, I got the new iPhone Pro Max. You just shake your head like this. Damn. You know what they say? Oh, man, it's only $60 a month. That's what you think. See what I'm saying? Don't ever do that, ever. Step outside the debt matrix. The next one, ignore everybody, society that's in the debt matrix. If they're financing a car, they won't know these things, okay? You can't say these things to them because they will become offended. So you say things that are normal to them in the debt matrix, financing phones, cars, but they say, hey, this is what people in the debt matrix always do. Hey, man, I got a great deal, 2.9%. I didn't have to hardly put any money down. You just let them talk. That's debt talk. They don't know what they're saying. You think you got a good deal by financing a depreciating object every time you start it up? Now you got to get insurance on it according to the bank, because that's the bank's property. So the bank dictates your insurance. What if you're a good driver and never been in an accident, or maybe one throughout your entire life? You get to dictate what type of insurance you got. Trust your own record. Trust your own driving record. But not the bank. The bank says, hey, we loaned you the money, so you get this type of insurance, slave. They ain't gonna literally call you a slave, but they can. Now you're attached to your job for 72 months, to your job, to the bank, and that depreciating, shiny, brand new objects that you're gonna get tired of in a couple of years. But they don't know that. You know what you say when they say that to you? You go, oh, that's nice, cool. Now, again, they always tell you the total price of the car as if they paid cash for it. No, you didn't. The reason why they financed it, because they didn't have the money for it. That's the only reason. But this is what people in the debt matrix say. Oh, man, instead of putting all that money down on the car, I'm going to invest it into the stock market and do whatever, and it's going to triple and quadruple in interest. And then I'm going to take that money and pay off. No, you're not. Stop lying. You can't say this to them, okay? If you want to keep your friends, you better keep this information to yourself. If you want to remain in their lives, you better keep this information to yourself. They're not doing anything. They're going in debt for a depreciating object. They couldn't afford to, that's why they financed it. Savings minus debt equals how much money they're investing into the stock market. If that number's in the negative, if this is you and you think you're in, check this out. Get off the car thing for a second. If you are, you know what? You're right. And keep going. That's what I want you to keep driving for. Keep driving for. You're going to slowly start seeing things happen. You know what you're going to start seeing? You're going to start seeing that you're going to start seeing the things that you accepted at work. But that's another subject. Let me get to this part. If you're in debt and you're contributing to your retirement, this is how much you're matching and this is how much you're contributing. Savings minus debt equals how much money you're contributing to your retirement. If that number's in the negative, you're not contributing anything. You just think you are. If math could talk, math would say, hey, you don't trust me? You don't trust me. You're not getting a 6% match. You can't match negative. Savings minus debt equals how much money you're investing in the stock market. Math steps in. Hey, taps you on the shoulder. You're not earning anything. That's mathematically impossible to invest negative dollars into anything. Remember, I was in your class, your 5th grade class. Remember Miss Klingensmith? I was there in the next chair. Remember that? That was me. I taught you this a long time ago. How come you don't trust me anymore? Oh, the people in the debt matrix. Yeah, they don't really trust me either. They don't even know I exist. It's crazy, huh? Exactly. It's emotions, it's friends. Only thing that could separate math and money are emotions. Like I always tell people, how do you feel? Hey, check this out. The beauty job. Check this out. How do you feel about 2 + 2 = 4? How does that make you feel? Does it make you feel happy going to work? Do you want to jump for joy? Does it make you sick? How does it make you feel? Do you wake up, oh, 2 + 2 = 4, yes. It doesn't matter, it's 4. If you did that in front of people, they were like, why is she doing all that? It's 4. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Math doesn't care how you feel about it. Once you get over that hurdle, you'll be free. You'll see all this finance nonsense. Don't ever tell anybody that you have a finance phone in your hand. Don't ever tell anybody. You don't know if people like me, the 15% of people like me, are standing next to you. I'm not going to say anything to you. I promise I won't. Because people get an attitude. Oh man, you think you're better than me? Who are you? You're not a millionaire. You should. That's debt. Debt talk. That's debt talk. They don't understand. Money is spoken in 2 languages: debt and debt free. If you've been in debt all your life, you have no idea the language of debt free even exists. You don't ever tell. People talk about financing cars like it's nothing. And if you thought a car goes down in value, here's some more debt speak. Hey man, a car goes down in value as soon as you drive it off the lot. That's not true. A car goes down in value before you even step on the lot, before you even got the keys in your hand. As soon as you walk on a car lot and mention finance, they got you. I wouldn't dare step on a car lot to buy a car. You know where I buy a car from? A person in debt trouble, a person in Chapter 13, a person that just lost everything, getting a divorce, whatever. Doesn't matter. I don't care. It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. Oh, I'm just looking. If I worked on a car lot and I'm debt free, I could personally, morally, I couldn't do that to a person. I just couldn't sell them something that I know they shouldn't be doing. But anyway, if they step on the line and say, hey, I'm just looking, I just go, sure you are. Yeah, okay. Whatever, right? They step on the lot. Okay, I want to finance this. As soon as they get you in the car lot, I swear to God, it must be like this. Notice how they have all the toy areas set up on car lots for the kids and stuff. People actually prepare themselves to be there all day on the car lot. Let me tell you something. If you had the cash for the car on the car lot that you're going to buy, would you wait there all day for them to bring it up to you? Does that make sense to you? They only do that to people who finance cars. If you step on the car lot and say, hey, I want to buy that car, and say, sit down. It's going to take us 8 hours to bring that car up. You'd be like, hell no, I got it here. Give me my money. Get out. But when you're financing a car, yeah, you do. There's no way in hell I sit on a car lot for 8 hours to buy one car. That's crazy. But yet people do it every day and prepare themselves for it. And then when you're negotiating with the seller, they always have to go back and talk to some mystery person behind the glass in this back room. Who is that? The finance Wizard of Oz person back there? Who is that? And why am I talking to you if you have to keep going talking to this person? You know what they're doing? They're going back and playing chess. It's the salesman's move. It's his move. While he's negotiating with you, he's wondering if he's about to get checked. Hey man, I'm working for you. Can you now you already come in with the set price. Do you ever walk out with that set price? No, you don't. Can you afford 50 to come on? It's just $50 more. That's it, just $50 more. Then you go, all right, let's see. No, it's not. It's way more than $50, but to you, it is because you want that depreciating object so bad. Oh, I feel so sorry for people in the debt matrix. But it's nothing personal because everything I'm telling you, none of this is hidden. None of it. None of it's math. That's the part that angers me, being in the debt matrix so long, Mr. Computer Guy, 4-year degree engineer. I could have been a millionaire a long time ago. Math was a requirement in college, but yet I didn't use it on my finances. Makes absolutely no sense. I'm pissed at myself. That's why I make videos every day. I want you guys to see it. I want to help people, but it takes sacrifice. People reach out to me, and when I tell them what they have to do, they ain't trying to hear none of that. They ain't even trying to hear it. What do I got to do? I can't clear this up in 30 days? No. Do not call me if you believe you can clear this up in 30 days, a year, 2 years. I'm not your person. I must reiterate that. I am not your person. They have credit fixers out there that can help you in 30 days. There's a million of them out there. Just throw a dart and hit one, okay? You ever wonder why there's so many? Stop and think. Check on YouTube, look on Instagram. Everybody and their mama is a credit fixer. You ever notice that? Why are there so many? Because they're not doing anything for you. They're not doing anything. You're still in debt. The only thing they're going to do is remove some stuff, 30 days, improve your credit. And guess what you're going to do with the more credit, the higher credit score? You're going to go get into more debt. Now that your credit score is higher, you're approved to get deeper in debt. They're not helping you do anything. They're helping you go further in the negative. All you got to do is this. Is this person, whatever this person is doing to help me with my finances, is it going to get me further in the negative? That's not the person you want to go with. And I guarantee you this, those people, those credit fixers, it's business. I'm not knocking what they do. That's a feeling. How I feel about what they're doing is 100% irrelevant. I guarantee you, if I ask to see any of their credit report, I guarantee you they're deep in the negative. Guaranteed. Half the people probably doing your taxes, they're probably in IRS trouble. You don't know that. Collections, IRS debt, deep in the negative, and they're helping you with your taxes. Because, and all you worry about, most of the people in debt matrix worry about this: how can I get more money back on my taxes? You don't care how they do it. You just want to say, let them ride the fence. And I know I'm off, but I got to tell you this, okay? Now that I'm financially free, I understand that taxes can help you build wealth. Taxes can help you build wealth. Taxes don't keep people down. No, they don't. That's not true. Only people in the debt matrix believe that. Once you get out of debt matrix, you're like, oh, they're the backbone of the whole system. That's why you can go to prison if you start cheating the tax system. No. If 85% of Americans are in debt and they believe, now listen closely, if they believe taxes are the very reason why they're in debt, they all start thinking of different ways to cheat the tax system, right? They all think they're doing something new. They're not. People in debt have a pattern. They don't know they have a pattern. That's the crazy thing. They don't know they have a pattern. So they think they're doing something new. And if they get away with it for a few years, they're getting away with it. They just ain't got to you yet. They haven't got to you yet. They'll get to you. It counts on how much money I'm sure. I don't know for sure, but this is just the way I think outside the debt matrix. Oh, it counts on how much money you're pulling in. You start making more and more money and start paying not paying taxes. You get their attention. Now it's random. If they just focused on the people making a lot of money, all the people that's nickel and diamond down here, they would think they would start getting away with it. And the more people like that, think about it. If there's more people doing the nickel and diamond and you spread it across 85% of Americans that are in debt, that comes out to a large number. So they got to get you too. They let you keep digging and digging and digging. And then next thing you know, you got that knock on the door. Hey, you haven't been paying your taxes. What? I didn't know. Sure you didn't. Here's a fine. Here's something to teach you not to do that again. And then some people don't even recognize that, hey, man, let me understand the tax rules. Instead of doing that, let me think of a different way. And they start thinking they're doing something new. You're not doing anything new. If this is you, you're not doing anything new. They just haven't got to you yet. Tax audits are not random. They're random to the people in debt matrix because they think they're getting away with it for years. And guess what? You're not. You're not getting away with it. You're not at all. Everything leads back to money. The reason why you're doing certain things is because you want money. It's so easy. I need to be a tax auditor. I really do. They wouldn't let me because I'm not an accountant and I don't have years of. It doesn't matter. That crap don't even matter. I can spot a person right away if they're cheating on their taxes. Or not even cheating. Don't even understand how it works. Not necessarily cheating, but ignorance of the law is not a defense. It's not. It doesn't matter. If you don't know, you just don't know. That's your problem. I would just speak to them just say a couple of words to them, and I would know exactly what they're doing. But they don't. I'm way off the subject of the title of the title of the video, but I want you guys to understand. If you come to see me, okay, I'm straight to the point. You will see me. I will start you off, and then it's a every month thing because we got to get through the emotional part and the financial part. I can't just hand you a plan and say, go back into the debt matrix. You got millions of people telling you the wrong thing that have been doing it for years wrong. And so have you. You're the only one that's kind of waking up saying, hey, wait a minute. He's right. My math is not adding up. I'm not getting ahead no matter how much money I make. Why is that? I have the answer. I'm not here to convince you. I'm telling you what the answer is. It's going to take years. It counts. Everybody's situation is different, okay? It's going to take years. There is no other choice. Sacrifice a few years for the rest of your life. It's financially free, man. And I'm going to tell you something, okay? And then I'm going to end this thing. Once you're financially free, everything is a thing. I don't know how to explain that to you. Nothing impresses me. You see these videos with people with props, like I said earlier, props in the background. That stuff means nothing. That's irritating to me. I'm like, why you keep showing the Ferrari and the house back there? For the people in the debt matrix that believe if they follow you, they'll get that stuff in the background they have no idea what that is. No different than a person with the MLMs. You notice there's about 15 million MLMs, multi-level marketing freaking things. They all have the same MO. Hey, this person's a diamond, ruby, this and that. And then you go to one of the events, it's in a big lavish coliseum, and then these people get on stage. Hey, I was once poor and my family was this and that and I didn't have that. And then they got a big screen in the background showing houses and cars and boats and stuff like. I don't know if any of that stuff is theirs. That's a prop. That's a prop. But if you financially free and you decide to get into an MLM, and you'll kill it because you won't fall for all the nickety nonsense. You won't fall for any of that stuff, any of it. And anybody saying that that they have money and they're rich and this and that, you're gonna say, hey, let me see your credit report. The credit report, I promise you, the credit report will never lie. It will always tell you the truth. Always. That's why I post my entire credit report on my Instagram, DebtAintMyDaddy, on my Facebook, Debt Ain't My Daddy. Go check it out. If you haven't seen it, go look at it. And then when you see it, I want you to think to yourself, how come everybody else don't show their entire credit report? Why is that? Why do they always brag on their credit score? Like, for example, people always tell you their credit score when there's 3. Why do they always tell you 1? Nobody ever questions that. Of course they're going to tell you the highest one. Why? Because it doesn't mean anything. It's just an indicator of if somebody pays back the bank's money on time or if somebody doesn't. That's it. You ever notice this too? Say like you go in to finance a car, right? And you check your 3 credit scores and say like the highest credit score was TransUnion. Can you walk in and tell the car dealership, hey man, when you run my credit, make sure you use my TransUnion credit score? Can you say that? How do you know they're out of the 3 scores, they're not using the lowest one so they can charge you the highest interest rate? Have you ever thought about that? Probably not. You're so tunnel visioned on that depreciating object, you're gonna finance for 72 months of your freaking life. 72 months on one car? And then when you get it, you're driving around to all your friends, look at my new shiny depreciating object with interest. Don't even know what you're saying. Don't even know. If this is you and you are tired of it, stop embarrassing yourself by doing stuff like that. You want to get out? This is the place. People ask me, Linnell, you a millionaire? I don't even answer that question. You know what I say? My finances are in the black. That's all you need to know. Yours not? That's all. If I was $1, if I had $1 in the bank, in the black, it's more than anybody in the red, deep in the red. It doesn't matter. It will change. I will change your whole life. Change it forever. Look at this. I'm almost an hour. You know what it feels like when I talk to you guys? It feels like I've been on this thing for like 5 minutes. I feel like a rapper spitting rhymes off the top of my dome like it's nothing. I just look around. I hear people talk. People email me. People talk to me on their phone. They give me all the information I know so I can share it back to you in a different way. I share it back. Now, most people take offense to it, right? I'm telling you what is so it can click. Know who my role models are? You know who my role models are? Let me tell you who my role models are right now. Okay? Dave Ramsey, Eckhart Tolle, and Dan Pena. Look them up if you don't know who they are. Those are my role models. Dave Ramsey, because I didn't know I was in debt. Here's another personal story. What's crazy? I didn't know I was in debt. You know why I didn't know I was in debt? Because I was in the debt matrix doing what everybody else thinks. Everybody else is doing. That's it. And then one day I stepped out. I was in my finance Lexus, and I was sitting outside my fancy high-rise apartment that I didn't own, right? Just showing off. Hey, girl, look, you can see it off the freeway. Hey, yeah, that's where I live. Ooh, stupid nonsense. I said, something's wrong. I started Googling debt. I didn't know to go straight to somebody and say, hey, I need to get out of debt. I didn't know I was in debt, which is the stupid, didn't compute. And then he just said, hey, and I'm gonna just summarize it. Do math on your finances and you'll be free, basically. That's basically what he said. And I said to myself, I remember specifically, it can't be that easy. No way is it that easy. Yes, it was. Once I was free, I was like, holy smokes. Hey, what's up, Ulysses? How you doing? It's still live. I don't know how much longer. I'm almost an hour in. Once I was free, this is what I did. It's like a person just finding religion, right? You want to, hey, God, Jesus, and everybody just run far away from you. This is how I was. I was with my friends because I love my friends. I love my family. I'm like, hey, I found an answer how to be free. Just do this, that. Oh, no. They started avoiding my calls. Oh, Linnell, you think you're better than us? I started talking to my friends less and less. I was like, oh man. Then I had to shut up. I said, you know what? I'm gonna just make videos. Hopefully people find me. And then because you got to be ready to hear what I'm saying. You got to be ready to hear it. And no, my service is not free. If you start, like, for example, you start your own business or whatever, you give away your service for free, people are going to treat it like it's free. You charge a fee that's going to make somebody say, hey man, I just don't want to waste this type of money. I better do something. To do something, you'll never go back. Ever. Ever. You will never. The purpose that's exactly. You treat your personal finances like your business, like this right now. This is what I always say, the simplest thing so people can click. Savings minus debt equals your money. How much money you have in real life. If your finances were a business, if your finances were your business, would you still be in business? If the answer is no, if your finances are in a negative, you need to change that. If your finances were your business, would you still be in business? If the answer is no, that's where you need to start. You get on this side, let me tell you something. You get on this side of the financial world, nobody will be able to financially scam you. You know why? Because the things they do don't make financial sense. That's how to tell it's a financial scam. Financial scams are targeted at people that don't understand money, people in the debt matrix. People think that they're going to get money for free. These scams that sound so idiotic. This is what you got. Some of these scams, they sound so stupid, but they wouldn't do them if they didn't work. Why would they keep doing something that doesn't work? Nigeria scams, the tax man, hey, you did your taxes wrong. You owe us $3,000. Go to the store and get some, go get some gift cards, and this is how you're going to pay us. People actually do that. You know why? Because they don't know money. If somebody called me claiming to be a tax person, I would just hang up on them. Because I know I did my taxes right. I know I did. I didn't mess up. I know I didn't mess up because I did it right. Period. That's just like somebody, say like you're doing a job right now, you have a job and you know exactly how to do your job and do it well. And somebody comes in and says something that you know is wrong. Hey, you don't do your job like this, you do it like this. You'll look at them like, what are you talking about? I know exactly what it is. That's no different. You will be freer than let me tell you something. I became financially free. I started at age 40. I've never been more free in my entire life. Anybody I get on the phone with, I say, tell me your problem. I listen to them. I already have the answer before they finish. Already have the answer. You know what I think? They're not going to believe my answer because it's going to take sacrifice. Yep. Okay. Let me tell you something, Ulysses. When they counter it with what about credit? Stop talking. Because they don't know what they're saying. You can't borrow your way out of debt. You can't borrow your way out of debt. That's mathematically impossible. They don't know what they're saying. When they respond with, this is a cue for you, Ulysses. If they respond with something like that, you be quiet. Because you're going to go on forever. What about this? What about the equity in that? What if this and that? What if I borrow and they don't even know what they're saying? Just be quiet. You know what I say? If you ever like, sometimes on my videos, people make comments and then they'll be going on and on. If you ever see me say, okay, that's when it's not rude. It's not anything. I just go, okay. There's no reason to waste your breath anymore. They believe they can borrow their way out of debt. That's how debt matrix speak. That's debt matrix talk. They don't understand the language of debt free. They don't understand. Just be quiet. It's an all day argument if you continue to go on because People will always find, what was that? What was that meme I saw the other day? People will always find a problem for every solution. People in the debt matrix will always find a problem for every solution. They don't know they're doing it. I mean, I don't take that kind of stuff personal. All you gotta do is just listen to them speak. And when they say things that don't make any mathematical sense, you got to comprehend and say they don't understand. They don't get it. I get it, and I don't really take it like that because I was once in a debt matrix. If somebody, I can't even imagine the things I said when I was living in a debt matrix to people that understood money. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. I'm almost embarrassed to even think about it, right? They will find a problem for every solution. You must learn to say, okay, oh, all right. And then they'll give you this glazed look, this dazed look like, oh, you're not gonna fight me on it? Mm-mm. No, you're just not ready. That's all it is. Now, everybody's gonna hit some kind of wall, just like I did, something just wasn't right and it just snapped me out of the debt. And I was like, oh, whoa. I just didn't wake up one day and say, hey, you know what? The answer is to become debt free. That's the answer. I didn't wake up like that. I didn't even know I was in debt. I was just like everybody else, financing washing dryers, phones, tires, stereo systems, and thinking I was a big ass pimp because I had good credit to be able to do that with no money down. I was doing all that debt matrix speak. It is just the sooner you wake up, the sooner you'll be free. And I'm telling you this right now, if this is you, okay? If this is you, if you wait too long, and the older you get, because once you're out of the debt matrix, you will realize time is the most valuable thing on earth. You can't borrow none from your friend. You can't say, oh man, I messed up the last 10 years. Hey mom, can I get 10? No. You can't work overtime. Hey man, if I work 40 extra hours, can I get some 10 years back? No, you can't. No. You can't do any of that. The later you wait, and when you step outside the debt matrix, you're going to be so pissed at yourself. You're going to be mad. You're going to be angry for a long time. I took a year off of work. Oh, yeah, you can pay once you're outside the debt matrix, check it out. When you hear 30-year mortgages, that's for people in the debt matrix, Chris. You can have your house paid off in 7. Easy. Easy. But you must be debt free first to even see if I told you and you're in debt, you won't even understand what I'm saying. You won't even get it. It's nothing. And it's not even saying that you're dumb or you're not mentally capable of understanding. No, you can't see it. People in the debt matrix can't see what's called phantom income. It's mathematically impossible for them to see it. I'll give you an example. Okay. Quick example. So you can understand this, all right? Say like you were financially free, okay? Check this out. Say like you're financially free. First of all, when you can max out your 401k at 19,000, I'll example because it's the easiest and most people can comprehend this. Have you ever maxed out your 401k? This year it's $19,000. If you have not, you haven't because you're in debt. You can't afford to, right? When you go see your tax person, okay? Have them run a scenario. You go like this. Hey, can you do me a favor? Run a mock tax thing. If I had maxed out my 401k this year, show me the difference between the money I'm getting right now and the money I would get if I maxed out my 401k. What would be the financial difference? I want you to have them do a side-by-side comparison so you can see with your own eyes. Real quick, you would have $19,000 in your 401k and you get to take $19,000 off your annual taxable income, which brings you down in your tax bracket. If 85% of Americans, this is where when you step outside the debt matrix, you stop thinking about money individually and you start thinking about it collectively. If 85% of Americans cannot afford to max out their 401k, and you can, and you get an extra, I'm gonna just throw this out there. Say like by putting 401k money in your 401k, you get an extra $2,000, $15,000, $2,000 back. Okay, that's $2,000 extra in your pocket that 85% of Americans can't afford to do. That's just one example. Once you're on this side, I got a million things to show you guys, but I don't even talk about that stuff. I only show that to people who are financially free. Telling you about it now is pointless. It's really pointless. But if you want to see an example right now, when the tax season come up, do that. Say, hey, run this. Let me see the numbers. Oh, you know it's going to cost this? Say, I don't care how much it costs. Just do it. I want to see it. Hopefully that'll click a light on your head and be like, oh, crap. There's way more phantom income than that. That's just one example. Taxes can help you pay off your house. Look up this. McDonald's they pay 0 in income tax. Now, don't be like the people in the debt matrix. Oh, that's just because they're rich. Nuh-uh. The law is the law. If they don't pay taxes, that's illegal. That's tax evasion. Tax evasion is illegal. Tax avoidance is not. McDonald's pays 0 in income tax. Why is that? Their business made millions, but they don't pay no taxes on it? Why is that? You go and look it up and you'll see why. You see it and then you'll understand it. And then you apply that same methodology to your house. I'm not going to get too deep into that. You can pay it off in 7 years. It's like putting your house in a microwave. Boop, 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 7 years, press start, walk away. Ding! It's done. That was fast. I know. I didn't know that. I know it today. Do 1 or 2 like that. Every house after that, you'd be paying cash for it. I mean, I wouldn't personally do it, but I'll get that. Let me not get too deep in that. I want to get, but 7 years, Chris. 30-year mortgages are for people that don't understand. 30 years? Think about it. Think about it. 30. This is what you're saying when you sign up for a 30-year mortgage. Okay, mathematically, you're promising money that you haven't even earned yet for the next 30 years to the bank. You don't even know if you're going to even earn that money. So you're promising something that doesn't even exist? Nobody in the world can do that. Nobody. But yet people do it every day. And here's another thing that people in the debt matrix say, okay? As soon as you tell a person in the debt matrix, hey, you're not a homeowner if you have a mortgage, and then they come back with this rebuttal. Oh, nobody is ever really going to own a house because the taxes, nobody's going to do it. Then why the hell are you financing it if you know you're never going to own it? But if you want to keep your friends, you can't say that. You can't say, when you get on this side, the only outlet I have right now is put it on videos. I can't say this to people. I can't say this to coworkers. I can't say that. I'll have nobody will like me. Even though I'm telling the truth, nobody will like me. So you got to be quiet. Shh. It's our little secret. Does that make sense, Chris? I hope so. If you want to be free, I'm unlike, and this is going to sound like I'm bragging, okay? I'm unlike anybody you'll find on YouTube. Anybody. And anybody that comes, oh man, he thinks he's this and that. I'm not bragging. I just know math. I'm not even saying I'm special. I'm just saying I have a calculator on my phone and I open it's a calculator app, right? And I pull it up and I go, boop, 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 boop. That's the answer. Cool. You know what's crazy? Check this out. Oh, yes. Don't you ever do that. Everybody's situation is different, okay? Chapter 13. Here's a quick, and now I don't know your situation, or even if you're talking about yourself, okay? This is what I'm saying. Chapter 13 sets people up for failure. Okay? Every situation is different, but listen to my logic. Most people are in chapter 13 because of credit and not making payments. So now they got themselves in trouble because they can't make the payments. So in chapter 13, they're going to put you on a 5-year plan for payments. And you better follow each and every rule, cross every T, dot every I, or else you're kicked out of the program. Now, mind you, the people in chapter 13 don't understand. They're so focused on saving stuff they don't own, finance cars, finance houses, whatever. It's so wrapped up in there, they don't even know that the stuff inside there, it still accumulates interest. Yeah, they can't call you, they can't bug you, whatever. If I was one of the people that were wrapped up in your chapter 13, I'll sit back and wait because I already know your history. You don't even make payments on time. It's just only a matter of time. It's like a ticking time bomb. While you're in there, it's just collecting interest. It doesn't stop. The interest doesn't stop. It keeps going. And then most people in chapter 13 now believe, since it's wrapped up in there, now they believe they have more money at the end of the month, even though they say this is your allotted amount or whatever, right? People always figure out a way to somehow finance another car, get another item, whatever. And then they get kicked out of the program. I'll be waiting there. Then all the people wrapped up in there, the box blows up, chapter 13 box, boom, now they're free. Now they're back on you. You're going to somehow get in chapter 13 because you got in trouble not making payments, but now you're going to make 5 years of payments in chapter 13? No, you're not. All you got to do is Google the success rate of chapter 13. Not many people do that because I get it. It's emotional. You're wrapped up in there. You're not focused on the success rate. You're just like, oh, this is get the creditors off of me, bloggity blah, right? I get it. I totally get it. Totally get it. But you're not going to Google the success rate of chapter 13. I will go over your stuff and see if you even if you should. If you can get chapter 7, get chapter 7. But so many people are focused on keeping their stuff, even if they were approved for chapter 7. Hey, do I get to keep my stuff? They're gonna be like, no. Most people are like, oh man, I don't want to lose my house, lose my car. You don't own it. Stop saying that stuff. You want the real, you come to my channel. I don't care if you don't like me. Doesn't matter. I'm not here for people to like me. I'm here to tell you the truth and show you what the freedom is. And the reason why I talk like this, let me tell you what it is. Because this freedom on this side is oh so lovely. You get on this side, all your emotions from your money will be removed. People ask to borrow money. Some people feel bad. Oh man, I should loan them. On this side, you say, no. Oh, you got it. No, I don't. That's why, even if I did, I'm telling you no. 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 Oh man, I got this and I got that. I can help you get out. Just offer the person asking you for money when you're debt free, offer them help how they can get out of their situation. Guess what they're going to tell you? No. They're going, oh, no, I don't want that. Then the answer is no. Or if you're a person that can't say no, this is what you say. This is what I always tell people. You make a video, give them the money, and make a video and say, hey, if I give you this money, you can never, ever ask me for money again, ever. And put that on video because people that borrow money from you, they always seem to forget that they borrowed it from you. I don't know why that is. They get amnesia. And then when you go to ask for your money back, they get an attitude. Oh, man, you tripping on that little bit of, what? Huh? And now you mad because it makes absolutely no sense. But it makes sense to them in the debt matrix because you're not the only person they borrow money from. That's it. It's not a big deal. No. Don't ever if you can avoid chapter 13, or if you're thinking about doing a chapter 13, please contact me. Now, I'll guarantee you to have the answer for you. I guarantee it. You're probably thinking, how is that possible? because I know math. I have a calculator app. I have a calculator app. It's right here. Just let me just push that. Uh, you know what I'm talking about. Now, if you don't like the outcome, that's a feeling. If you choose to let your emotions and feelings override mathematics, hey, I can't do anything about that. If I tell you, all right, man, it's going to take you a couple years. If you don't like that, if you really don't have no choice, that's a feeling. You're already messing up. Math doesn't care how you feel about it. 5 plus 5 is always going to equal 10. I'm going to give you one more example so you can understand the things you say in the debt matrix that don't make any sense outside the debt matrix. Now, if I asked you, hey, do you know how much debt you're in? And an average person says, this is a natural response to most people. I don't know. I don't know. Now, if this is you, accept it. If you're by yourself, just say it in your brain. That's me. I don't know how much debt I'm in. Or I don't want to know. Say it all in yourself. I want you to say it to yourself in your mind. Say it. I don't know. I'm too scared to know. Say all that. Say it. Now I'm gonna give you an example. If I was your boss and you came to me asking for your check, I hand you an envelope with your check in it. You open it up, see that your check is short. You look at me and say, hey, Linnell, how come my check is short? And I turn to you and said, I don't know. I don't know. You look at me like I'm what? What you mean? That's the same thing. The exact same thing. I don't know. I don't know why your check's short. You wouldn't accept that. Then why are you accepting with your finances right now? Why are you accepting that? Because only people in the debt matrix accept that. Only people in the debt matrix do that. They're the only people that accept stuff like that. Don't know how much debt they're in. Don't care. Don't believe they should pay. Student loans are the devil. All this stupid nonsense that changes nothing. And last but not least, if you're in student loan trouble, you are a slave. Chapter 13 can't save you from that. IRS debt, chapter 13 ain't gonna save you for nothing. The only thing they're doing in chapter 13 is draining you for the little bit of money that you have left. That's all they're doing. They're just draining you because you don't know. All right, whatever, that's your problem. They're just draining you. 5 years? Check it out. 5 years of somebody, you go work and you got somebody telling you for the next 5 years of how much money you're going to have at the end of each month for 5 years. For a thing that's not even yours. Oh, McDonald's is using outside. What do you mean, to cut down costs or something? What do you mean, Ill Wills? This is their tax situation. So they're doing this to cut down on U.S. taxes, or what? What do you mean? You got to send me that. I got to read about that. Because if they're doing it for tax avoidance, I totally get it. I totally get it. Okay, thank you. I totally get it. Tax avoidance is legal. Tax evasion is illegal. Okay? All right, that's it. I've been on there for almost an hour and a half. If there's any other questions, especially on chapter 13, say them now before I get off. Europe is investigating. Oh, gotcha. Okay. They probably ride the fence, you know. If they get caught, they probably just have a fine or whatever. I'm not sure why they're doing it. I'm sure they're doing it for tax avoidance because Again, tax evasion is illegal. Now, if there's any more questions about Chapter 13, please ask them now. I will always have an answer for you. If you like my video, if you need help, DebtAintMyDaddy@gmail.com. Email me. We'll set up a free 30-minute consultation, and we'll go from there. Please like, subscribe my videos, hit the reminder button so you'll know every time another video is popped up like this one. And you guys have a wonderful day. I am videoed out today. Wills, it's always a pleasure. Ulysses, Chris, thank you for participating. Appreciate it. Hope I gave you the answer you were looking for. If not, you can email me. We can set up an appointment. Anybody else? Oh, and I forgot Beauty. I don't know if you're still on. The Beauty Jock, appreciate it. Thank you for participating. Appreciate it. And my face is oily. Okay. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. Have a good one. All right. Bye-bye.